You are tuned in to your dose of positivity. Shout out to all the channel members. And if you would like to support this channel and gain further support, join my channel membership. I am Marlene Motivates, and as I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hey everybody, it's Marlene of Marlene Motivates, your channel for motivation, inspiration, and positivity. Thank you so much to everybody who has joined me, whether live or if you're watching in the replay. I really appreciate you. Today we're going to be talking about something very important. I've been wanting to cover it for a while. It's a little bit of a trigger. I have to put that out there at the beginning. It's a trigger warning to anyone who is sensitive to issues such as their weight or talking about food. If, just so you know, I'm putting it out there from the beginning. And let's see who we got in the chat. And we got Eastad in the chat. How are you doing, Eastad? Welcome. Happy Thursday to you. Thank you so much for being here. Hope all is well with you. And to everybody, if you haven't already, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Today, I'm going to be talking about eating away your pain. And I felt like this was a very appropriate title because it's something that many people do. They don't even know they're doing this, but yeah. They don't know. And I was definitely a person that that has done it. And yeah, and all those things. Adana says, your title has me rolling on the floor laughing. Love it. I had this conversation at the gym with someone. Really? Awesome, Donna. How are you doing, Donna? Mod in the building. I am doing great. Thank you so much for being here. Yes. Hi to everyone who is in the chat. Yeah, I definitely wanted to have this conversation because I think that it's important to talk about, your relationship with food, the way we see food, the way not seafood like crustaceans. I don't mean that kind of food. I mean the way we look at food, our interpretation of food is how we have the relationship and how we treat ourselves when it comes to food. And one thing that is important to start off this discussion by saying is, how was food introduced to you as a child? I know growing up with Caribbean parents, food was given for everything. It was like food for me was like a healing. Like anything that happened when something bad happened, food was cooked. Food is brought over. Just think about it. When people pass away, when people lose somebody they love in death, what is the first thing people do? They go and they make all of this food and bring it over to them. So food is a coping mechanism. And if you don't have it right, if you don't have the right behaviors towards food, the way you look at it, you may develop some things that is not good, right? So we're going to talk about it. Usually, let's be honest, food is always the highlight of our day, especially when we go on vacation. I know that's the first thing that I'm interested in. When I book a vacation, I'm staying at a hotel, I want to know, how am I going to eat? It's the highlight of our day. It's something that we look forward to, but there's more, right? Food gives us comfort. Who is on that train? I know, living in the South, we love our comfort food. We love our savory foods, roasted foods, things layered in gravy. Those things make us feel good, right? It makes us feel good because of the temperature, and especially now with the weather being a little colder, that food can give us comfort. But how much comfort do we look to it for? And I have to say that we can't look at food, right, and let the food be a cure. Food can comfort us, but food cannot be a cure to some things that we need to deal with. We can't just take food every time we're dealing with an issue or a problem and then eat away that problem. We have to look at the solution. What is the solution in why I feel like eating? And am I even hungry? That's a question that's very important to ask ourselves. Am I even hungry? Is this something that I actually need, or am I just eating just to eat? And I think everybody does it. We eat when we are watching a movie. We eat when we are dating somebody. We eat on all occasions. And food is supposed to give us comfort, but food is supposed to also nourish our bodies and sustain us so that we can do good, so that we can feel good, so that we can think right, and all of those things. You're in your feelings already? It's all good, East. Yeah, food definitely gives us comfort. And I feel like it's very important to, talk about this. What is our relationship with food, so that we can have developed the right behaviors towards food, the right attitude, the right outlook towards food. Okay. So here we go. We're going to start it off, guys. You ready? Did you know that many people eat away their pain? Hmm. Well, you want to say, Marlon, what do you mean eat away their pain? I mean that every time people go through something in their life, they look to food as the source of, healing that. I know I'm not going to even lie to y'all. I have done it. After something very stressful, you say, I need a burger and fries, or I need some ice cream. Come on, ladies, let's be honest too. During that time, we want chocolate, we want some ice cream, you want some cookies, some potato chips. Yeah, you eat away the pain as a way of a coping mechanism with the things that you may be going through in your body, the things that are going on in your life, the situations, the problems, the people. It's like that food is a coping mechanism, and we start eating, and then immediately it releases endorphins in our brain, and we're like, ah, right? You take a sigh. Oh, I feel so much better now that I ate that burger, or now that I just had that ice cream or ate some chocolate. That's what a lot of people do. They eat away their pain. And we have puzzle pieces in the building. How are you doing, puzzle pieces? Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your support. And yeah, so many people, they eat away their pain. I've done it many a times, and I have no problem with being transparent and saying when I was between the ages of 15 to 17, I had an eating disorder. I have no problem saying that because that's the reality of my life. That's what I went with. And mine was not that I had a problem overeating, mine was undereating. I had the condition called anorexia. I definitely looked as food as something that people did. I kind of was holding back myself from eating food because it was the one thing I could control in my life. I couldn't control a lot of things that was happening around me, but what I could control is the amount of food that I ate. And I thought by not eating, and then like what people will say when you start to lose weight, people will say automatically you look good. So for me, it was like, okay, I look good, I look better. And then it got to be where it was out of control to where I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. I always, I allowed my body to, like, even though I was hungry, I used to think that it was okay. And it is something mental. It's not something that you can just say, like people will say, oh, just eat. And the same thing for a person who is on the opposite end of the spectrum and has a problem and they eat a lot. It's not something to just say, stop doing that. Just saying the word stop does not make it enough. It has to be something that you personally have to want. And for me and others like me, you have to get some help to find out what is the reason why you are thinking the way you're thinking in your outlook towards food. Got to get some help for that. Hi, Shelly. She says, I'm lurking and listening while I water my plants. I'm the type who starves myself when upset or stressed. And that's me too, Shelly. I'm definitely the person who, when I have a lot of things to do and I'm busy, I'm the person that will, I don't even really care about that eating, or yeah, except during that time. Then I'm going to definitely have some chocolate, some potato chips, and some ice cream. Just being honest. Just being honest. Okay, let's get into this point today that I have. So, the first point that I have, eating away your pain. There is different things that we will do when it comes to eating, right? And the first one that I was going to talk about is stress eating. And stress eating is something that we all do when we're going through something, a situation, we're really stressed out, we're worried about something, and we just keep eating. And stress eating is the same thing that we do when we're watching TV and just something to do, or when we're at work, just something to do. It's like we do this out of a habit just because we want something to do. We're stressed out, so we eat. Okay. And this is one of the category to where we will take in so many unnecessary calories. And it's the reason why a lot of people, they gain a lot of weight, right? We gain a lot of weight because we're not thinking about what we're eating. You just, I know I've done it. You open up a bag of potato chips, and next thing you're at the bottom of the bag of potato chips. Or you open that container of ice cream, and then you're at the end of the container of ice cream. That's stress eating. You're doing the eating just to comfort yourself because you got so much things going on. And then they also have the bored eating, you know, it's the same thing as, watching the TV. You're bored, you don't have anything to do. And my issue is, that you have these yummy snacks in your house that is not good for you. The junk food, you got the chips, you got the French fries, you got pizza, cookies, and you figure you have nothing to do, and you say, "Hey, what are you going to do? Head into the kitchen, look into the fridge, and just start eating." And another thing that's not good, the bored eating. And then we have the comfort eating, right? We're eating to get some comfort, and the comfort can be grieving a loss. The comfort can be a breakup. The comfort can be dealing with a pain, like maybe a sickness, a stomach ache. Maybe you have a cold. You're eating to comfort you to what you have to deal with. And this is a time where people can gain a lot of weight during this time. Even though I'm at the other extreme to where I'm stressed out, and I go to the other extreme where I don't eat. But I can understand why, when people are stressed out, they want to get some comfort for what they're dealing with, especially during this winter season. And it's one of the reasons why, when people are like shut in, it's cold outside, the first thing they do to get some comfort, warm up themselves, always just a little taste, another taste, right? And the next thing, they've eaten so much. Okay. So let's also talk about another type of eating, sad eating. You're sad. How many of us have done it? You are upset about something, and I can say to the ladies, you're upset about something, you're crying, and the first thing you do, go and find comfort in the fridge, some cold chicken, some pizza, or order yourself a pizza, popcorn, ice cream, cookies, candy, things like that. You're eating because you're sad, you're going through something. And I want to start back off with talking about stress eating. The reason why we are eating away our pain is because we don't want to talk about the issues related to what we're dealing with. Okay. If you're stressed out, there's other things that we can do besides that eating. Go for a walk, go to the gym, talk to somebody, get out, get a hobby, clean up your home, go get busy and do something, get busy, read. There's so many other things that we can do besides eating, and it's just a habit that many people develop, and I know I'm included in it too, that we do just to help ourselves out, like to get through the time, to get through the moment, to get through what we're dealing with. And we definitely have to uncover and ask yourself the reason, why am I eating? And ask yourself the question, am I even hungry? Why am I eating this food? And that's one of the things that I say to myself when I'm bored. I tell myself, you are not hungry. It's like when I have something, I feel like so compelled, I have to go. When I know that I have junk in the house, which is the reason why I try my best not to bring junk food in the house, because I feel like I have to. When I know I have those chips, when I know I have my favorite snack, I feel like I have to have it. And if I don't, I'll go crazy. It's the reason I don't like to have that sort of food in the house. So instead of, when I'm bored, I try to stimulate my mind, try to do something with my time instead of eating my time away, or ignoring certain things that I need to do, because a lot of times we may be bored, but you got a whole lot of things to do. You got some cleaning to do, you got maybe homework, maybe you got some stuff to do with your family, your children. but yet you say you're bored. A lot of times we have so many issues when it comes to our eating styles, right? We have so many things that we have going on, and we got to get to the problem. We got to get to the root of it. Hey, Real Talk, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And that's one of the things that I definitely had to learn to stop being a bored eater. I definitely, especially during the pandemic, being 100% real and transparent, I just started because you're just stuck at home. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. And you feel like, okay, the solution to everything. Well, I guess I'll have a snack. I guess I'll have a snack. Oh, what about those cookies? What about this? What about that? What about this? How about I make something? It's like we constantly keep pushing on ourselves food as the solution. Food, eat some more food and some more food instead of uncovering the reason why we're eating. Of course, I'm saying if you're hungry, you want something to eat. Yes, of course, eat, but in moderation, not just continuously eating just because you have food there or just because you're dealing with something and going through. We have to start thinking about the mental effects, the psychological effects, and the physical effects of us constantly eating instead of asking ourselves, what is the reason why I'm eating? And why do I need to be comforted in this food? That's one of the questions that I had to ask myself when I was looking through my notes from many moons ago when I had my eating disorder. What is the reason why I feel the need to not eat, or in this case, to eat? We have to ask ourselves, what is stopping me? What is the reason why I feel this way, before you are looking for that comfort in the food? What is the real source of why I feel compelled to eat? Is it because I'm feeling sad because I'm going through something? If we don't get to the root of the situation, of the problem, of why we are feeling the way we're feeling, we're always going to feel the way that we do. So, comfort eating, yes, it's nothing wrong from time to time. If you want some comfort, nothing is wrong in moderation, a little bit of a snack or something. But the issue is when we are doing so many things, and it's harmful to our bodies, it's harmful to our mind. It's making us have issues with either being over or underweight, and then it's a problem. And we have to think about this. And that's the reason for this discussion today, and talking about, eating away our pain. Why do we do it? Why do we allow ourselves to allow food to be something that we use to swap for the issue, the problem, what we're dealing with, what we're going through, instead of, sometimes it's just as simple as, I need to get busy and do something. I need to get up and get active. Sometimes we just need to have certain conversations. I know if I'm feeling some type of way, I'm angry, the first thing that I always tend to want is something sweet or something salty, to get me through it, especially the conversations that I don't want to have. When I'm very upset with somebody, I feel like having a snack. And that's not a good thing. I always tell myself, you don't need a snack. You're okay. You're not hungry. Instead of eating away our pain, we have to get to the root, the reason, the why. What is the mental reason why I feel like I need food right now? And it's very important to do so, because when we don't fix it, we make generations of families that feel the need to find comfort, to find support, to feel like if they're bored, food is a solution. Let's eat, and you kind of start convincing your mind, I'm hungry, when you really aren't. So This is the reason for this discussion, because if we don't control habits, we can become overweight, develop eating disorders, obesity, health problems, because food can become an addiction. And I looked at a statistic and it was saying that 1 in 5 persons that are Americans are overweight. And it's no shots against anybody. I'm not making fun. I'm just stating the facts. 1 in 5 Americans are overweight, and I don't mean obesity, because obesity is way past overweight. It's when morbidly, when you become morbidly obese to where you can't even walk without being winded. Just it's a lot, and I say this with the utmost respect, with consideration, and love for each and every one of you motivators. I do these topics because I care about you all. I say it because I was a person who had an eating disorder, and I wish somebody had come into my life at a certain point and said to me, the way you're under eating is not good, just like the way you can overeat is not good. We can't use food as a tool to as a coping mechanism for certain behaviors, or the way other people are treating us, or the way that we feel about ourselves. We have to control our habits and our behaviors, or we're going to make it really bad for ourselves and other people in our life. Let's see. I didn't miss any comments. No. That's the information that I had, that I found. And I just wanted to say to everybody, if you feel that you're out of control, if you feel that you can't control your eating, it's very important for us to just admit that to ourselves, that maybe I need a little help. And maybe it may be speaking to a dietitian, it may be speaking to a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whatever it is that we need, that we can get the support that we need. Because I had to start to unlearn bad behaviors, the things that happened to me in my childhood, such as reaching for food every time, or thinking that I needed chocolate every time I was upset, or even vice versa, feeling like I needed a drink and I need a glass of wine. We need something to cope with this life. And a substance or food should not take the place of a conversation, of communication that needs to happen, or something that we're dealing with. We got to find out the reason why we're feeling the way that we're feeling. And if we feel a certain way, we have to know that it's okay. I say this to all of you. If you are feeling a certain way, you feel out of control when it comes to food and your eating habits, and you can't control it, it's okay to ask for help. I say that because I was in the same situation where I needed help, because my way I was looking at food was very unhealthy. It was toxic. It was dangerous. It had come to the point where, if in a little bit I got to be 65 pounds, 65 pounds. And I was very close to not being here, not just on just this period of time in my life. That was just one occasion to where I could have not been here anymore. And I say this because I know what it feels like to be spiraled out of control. And we think sometimes, I can fix it. I can do better. I'm just going to try harder. I'm going to do better. And it's the thing where you start, yo-yo dieting, or you start listening to other people and what they think you should do. But we do need support. And even till this day, I'm still a part of a support group that helps me to, keep a food journal. Like, what am I eating? How much I'm eating? Because eating is a mental thing. It's something that, if we don't check it, if we don't take control over how we eat, what we're eating, we won't be able to stop it. It's that addiction, and the more of things that we eat that tastes good, it looks good, and have you before you the food even touches your mouth is watering and you're saying, it's a mental thing because you've already told yourself that this is going to be so good, it's going to be delicious, and this is going to help me to deal with what I'm going through and I'm dealing with, right? But we all know better. We do things sometimes just because we just get lazy. Let's be honest, everybody. We get lazy, and then next thing we know, we're going through the drive-through. We're going through the drive-through. We're ordering out. We're ordering out. And it's nothing wrong with having those things. It's wonderful to have like something to help us on those days that we're just so dog tired that we can never get in the kitchen and cook. But it's not something that we should lean on and depend on. And even if we have to order out, I have to say this to you all. The way back in the day, they used to have this thing about, the food pyramid, what you should eat. So much grains, so much this, so much fruit, so much vegetables, so much poultry and fish and all of these things. And for the majority of us, we've gotten away from what a healthy diet is. I believe that the majority of people, we're just all in survivor mode. We're just trying to survive, take care of our family, and sometimes that food is how we survive, is how we get through situations. I know when my father had got sick with his cancer, before my father passed away, I started getting into eating to comfort me through what I was dealing with because I didn't want to talk about certain things. I didn't want to talk about that my father had cancer. I didn't want to talk about the fact that I may lose him soon. I didn't want to talk about those things. So I replaced having conversations. I replaced my sadness. I replaced, you know, wanting, the desire to have him in my life with eating. And every time I would eat, it would help me to be able to cope with it another day until the next time I was hungry and the next time I was hungry. And that got to be to where I had gained about 25 pounds in the course of a year. And it's really not that much. It's basically about 2 to 3 pounds a month. It is not. It is not hard to gain 2 to 3 pounds when you're eating fattening foods. Let's be honest. The foods that taste the best are the worst for us. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. I love my fried food. Fried food, it just tastes better. The crunch and all of that, it's so good. And it's nice to have those things, but those are something that we have in moderation once in a while on a special occasion. But we have to start working on thinking about how we look at food and what we say is good, because we can say food is good, right? We can say food is good, but it's the food that tastes good. And then the food that we say is healthy for us, we say that's not good, that's gross, or it's disgusting. I see Eunice came in the building. How are you doing, Eunice? Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. All is well with me. Thank you so much for your support. Mod in the building. Um, I definitely had to start working on the way that I looked at food and to start changing the way that I thought about food. Like I said, a lot of times, like the way we look at food, right? We'll say, like, the food is bad. And that's the good food for us. That's the healthy things like vegetables and fruits and, the things that we should eat, the things that nourish our body. But yes, sometimes the things that are good for us are not the things that are our favorite. We would rather have things that is smothered in gravy or buttery or cheesy, something like that. We would rather have that than to have a salad or to have, something grilled or baked instead of the fried. So it's a lot involved in the way we look at food. It's not just the way we look at food, it's also what we classify as good food. Because I know for myself, I would always say, ew, vegetables, that's gross. That's disgusting. And I would tell myself all the time that it was good. Like, good is the fattening, good is chips and cookies and candy, all of the things that we shouldn't have on a regular basis. Yes, yes, yes. And I see Miss Nexie here in the background. So let's welcome her to the show.
Hello, Marlene.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Welcome.
So we're talking about food, huh? Wow,
Yes.
wow. Well. Are you trying to tell me something? Get on a diet next week? You
No,
know,
I'm not telling you to get on a diet. I'm just saying that we shouldn't eat away our pain. Because it's something that I
yeah,
still, it's not something that I'm just saying to you all, it's something that I have to work on too, because my favorite thing is when I'm thinking about food, I'm like, ooh, fried, ooh, gravy,
yeah.
ooh, butter. Yeah, I want more of that.
But you know the thing that a lot of people, I think um, they don't practice enough, because I guess we get busy, right, with everyday life. We get
Mhm.
busy, and we don't talk about what's going on. And I think that's why, sometimes we resource to food to cope with whatever it is that we're going through. But a lot of times, and this is something that I have a bad habit of doing, Marine, is I take dinner super late sometimes.
Mm.
7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 at
Mhm.
night. And that on itself is not good, because all those calories stay, with me. And then you go to sleep, right? If you don't work,
Yeah.
you go to sleep and you're sleeping, all that fat is going into you with nowhere to go but, to your belly and your arms and your legs.
And your tush.
I'm not gonna go there with that one, Marlene. But we've gotten into those it's a bad habit for me. Okay, I'm not saying everybody has this, but it's a bad
Mhm.
habit that I have, that I say, you know what, I'll start tomorrow. From tomorrow on, I'm not gonna eat this late. Instead of stopping myself right then and there from,
Mhm.
having the plate of food, or even though I have had the day off and I could have eaten at five
Mhm.
o'clock or six. No, no, no. I wait until that. And then I go with, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start doing that tomorrow. From tomorrow on.
Mhm.
Or, no, no, you know what? I'll start Monday, because tomorrow I have this. You know what I mean? So we've
Or
gotten
you
into
say,
the,
but I'm gonna be off this weekend, so I'm gonna want to have like
yeah. And yeah.
pancakes tonight.
I'm gonna have off this weekend, so we're gonna be sitting in front of the TV eating pizza at 9 o'clock at night, right? So I'll
Mhm.
do it Monday. That way I don't feel bad that I didn't do this. Hey, James.
Hey
So
James, how are you doing?
a lot of times is, our bad habits that continue to make us go, not not have a healthy relationship with food. There,
Mhm.
that's what I wanted to say.
I know, Nancy. And my issue was, like, you say you're eating late. My whole thing is that I've never been a breakfast person. Never.
I am a
Um,
breakfast person.
I have tried, and no matter what other people say, when I have breakfast, I feel sick as a dog.
Yeah, my daughter's the same way.
I feel sick as a dog when I have breakfast too early. I was like, eh. So but what I've learned working with a dietitian is that it doesn't have to be pancakes with butter and all of
Mhm.
these things. You could just have even a piece of toast. a cup of tea, maybe some
Yeah,
strawberries or
a healthy shake.
some watermelon. Yeah, a shake, something. But learn, training your body to eat something that is good for me, not just food that tastes good. And that was always my interpretation. I don't want pancakes and bacon. You don't have to have that.
But again, we go back to the same thing, is that unhealthy, and again, everything in moderation is good for you. You can have a piece of fried chicken if that's what you like, or fried fish. But
Mhm.
remember, if you have that fried fish, try everything else to be not fried. Don't get French
Mhm.
fry
Yeah.
and deep fried corn.
Yep. Everything on the plate is fried. Mhm.
Exactly. So again, we know all these things. You and I know all these things, but we continue to make bad choices because you know we we're in our feelings, right? And when we're in our feelings, instead of sometimes maybe picking up the phone or texting someone, we
Mhm.
grab the next piece of whatever it is next to us and start eating. um,
Mhm.
and that's why I was starting to say in the beginning, what happened to us having those conversations. I'm feeling this way. I'm not, I don't know, but I don't feel like I can function today. I'm in my feelings. I feel we don't talk about it anymore. We don't have
Yeah.
those conversations with our loved ones or our best friends or whatever. I don't know what happened to us, and I'm saying us, but I mean me, because I don't know how you are, but I was able to have conversations when I was feeling bad. I would call my friend and she would come
Mhm.
over, or I will go to her house and we'll talk for hours until I felt better. And
Mhm.
she will do the same thing if she ever had anything that she needed from me. But that's what I'm saying. What happened to that? To those practices that we used to
Mhm.
do, or I will get up and go for a walk and talk to myself if nobody else was available. But I think from COVID to here, everything changed.
You know what?
Since we
Honestly,
couldn't go, go ahead, go for it, Marlene. I'm sorry. Go for it.
oh, I'll let you go.
No, no, no. Go, 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 go. Talk, talk, talk.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying that I think that it actually was way before COVID. If I'm going to be completely transparent, I think living in this microwave society, we're just so involved in our own lives, right? We're
Hmm.
involved in our own lives. We got our own problems, and we'd rather turn on the TV or start scrolling on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. That has been our way of coping with life. We go to social media
Hmm.
instead of going to a person, going and having conversations with people that we actually know in real life and say, hey, I'm in pain, I'm hurting, I'm going through this, I feel sad. Or or picking up the phone or in person or whatever it is. But I personally feel that social media has replaced the conversations, because look, everybody is walking around earbuds.
Hmm.
Everybody's isolated, everybody's in their own world. I remember being a little girl, we had like headphones and stuff, but that was like a rare thing. But when you went out, people said hi, good morning, good afternoon. Now you go in the store and everybody is in there bopping to their music in the store. Nobody is talking. And it's not even that you go to the person and they check you out. Now that's been replaced too by self checkout.
Hmm. And when you address the person, that if you don't go to self checkout and you address the cashier, they look at you like, is there something wrong with you?
Yeah, they're like, "Why are you talking to
Yeah,
me?"
why are you, what are you saying hi to me? Like, what's so wrong with you? Yeah, you know what? For me, it didn't really start until the pandemic hit.
Mm,
That's when everything just changed for me. Like, I got, because we had to be isolated from everybody. Everybody was worried about their own families. I had no time to dedicate to anyone besides my family here at home. I was so
Mhm.
busy with other things that I feel that for me, that's when, the distancing started. The eating at any hour of the night, because you grab whatever you can, whenever you can. So those
Mhm.
bad habits started forming then for me. And then
Wow,
you're
next week.
right,
You're
it's the
good.
1 pound, the 2 pound per week. And then you go to your physician and, you know, 3 months after your last checkup or whatever, and then they tell you it's 20 pounds, you're 20 pounds up. You're like, what? How? There's no way.
Yeah,
But then you start going back and say, oh, yeah, those bonbons I ate in front of that TV with that awesome movie the other day.
that tub of ice cream, those chips, those cookies, that
Oh, that avocado
a
dip was
third piece
good.
of fried chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of times I feel that we got to get back into, yeah, there's a lot of technology and everything, but I feel that we have been complacent when it comes to allowing our friends and families to be in front of it and not saying anything. I think we have also added or contributed to that, to them not putting their phones down, not putting their tablets down, not
Mhm.
being engaged with the conversation. We can, if we had a policy at home, or if we, because we are the only ones that can teach them what it used to be for us, right? Nobody else can do that, because you and I, and many of our, I hope of our, in our chat, can remember that, we used to have conversations before this. We had cell
We
phones, but we're so
did.
used to talking to each other. What?
I said we did.
I used to talk for hours with my best friends, my
Yep.
kids, my sisters. And
Mhm.
now all you do, even if you want to, call back home, you have to send a message first to see if they're home. So it's so weird. So we are
Mhm.
the only ones that can bring them back, to what it used
Yep.
to be with us. And we can put certain, because we want to avoid for the kids to be going to what we're going through as well, eating our feelings away, right? We want
Yep.
to avoid all of that for the future generations. So we need to start talking. We need to start teaching them, the difference of the kind of foods that they pick, to keep an active life. I'm sorry, without sitting on the couch on their phone or their computer or their tablet all the time.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we can do. Go ahead,
And
Marlene.
one thing I want to add to that too, Nexie, is that I think it would be very helpful if we start getting back to eating food together as a family at the table. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to even pretend how many times that I've eaten food in my room or
Mm-hmm.
in the living room. Yeah, and not together. I can't say that's for everybody, but I know that's a bad habit that I developed. Like
Wait,
you,
do I even have a dining table? Yeah, I think I have a dining table.
yeah, it's there somewhere, but
I
yeah,
think it's underneath all of the rubbish I have on top of it.
you know, in our house, it's become that where everybody puts all of their stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Not,
it's not
what?
no
Wait, not
eating is
not every
happening.
house is like that, Marlene. I'm sorry. Are you trying to tell me that I am wrong here? Not every house has everything on top of them. They're
Mm.
yeah. I don't remember that time. What we do though here in the house is, when we're gonna do something, like if we want to watch a movie or a show or whatever, or food comes, um we go sometimes in either one of our rooms, like either my room or my son's and wife's room.
Mhm.
When my daughter comes to visit as well, we all gather there.
Mhm.
They have the couch and everything. They have a nice setting, so we all sit around and watch a show and talk and whatever. But it's not on the table. Yeah, it's not on the table. You're right. We got to get
Mhm.
back to that.
We just started that about, what is it now? February, December. We just started that back again once a month, and it's so hard, Nexie.
Yes.
Once a month, we said once a month we're gonna eat at the table, and everybody's like, "Oh no, next week is the end of the month, and we didn't we didn't eat at the table yet." So it's a work in progress. Everybody has to be, because everybody has a different schedule and they're doing different things, that you have to put like a concerted effort. Like, okay, the last Friday of every month or the last Sunday, we're going to eat together at the table. No telephones,
Mhm.
no interruptions. Yeah, and actually talk to each other. Yeah.
And you know that the funny thing is that my kids were raised that way, Marlene. My
Yeah.
kids are 90s kids, right?
Mhm.
They were growing up with the technology that was happening as, as they were growing. But I had a policy of no cell phones on the table. I had a little box, a little basket where people would put their cell phones, and we will talk about everything that happened on the day, everything. And we will have dinner every night. And I worked full time and I went to school as
Mhm.
well, and my husband worked full time as well.
Mhm.
So, but we made it a thing to every night, unless we had to stay at work late. We
Mhm.
didn't do it that night, but every night I will come home, get the tables, the kids will set up the table, and we will be talking about the day and about, what they needed, how was school, did you finish homework, and no cell phones whatsoever.
Mhm.
Of course, they didn't have everything that we have now, right? It was only like we could dial up, and there's only so many minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Remember
Yeah.
remember when the cell phones used to go by 60 seconds, and if you went to 61, you had to pay for 2 minutes?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I
Oh,
used to be like, I was like, "I got 5 seconds. Oh, yeah, bye."
I didn't even say anything. I would just hang up. Or you're paying for those
Yeah, you're
extra
paying
two
for that
minutes.
minute. Like, my mama's gonna kill you.
Or we only had a limited amount of text, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Oh man, that was nice. Those were the days.
Yeah,
But
those were the good old days.
yeah, but still my kids got to experience that. We all got to sit down, and I'm sure you guys got to experience that too with your mom.
Mhm.
And that you all were called in. There will be like that scream from the from the door, Marlene, blah blah blah, like
Yeah,
me.
come on,
Yeah,
everybody, hurry
yeah,
up, get inside,
dinner
time.
time. And we all knew our mama's voices.
Yeah, and
My
everybody's
mama's
like,
calling, gotta
your
go.
mama's calling you.
Yeah, my dad will be the one, or my sister. And I will be like, man, and I was in the middle of the best soccer game ever. I hate when they call me,
Yeah,
but
but
I will go.
I'm not even hungry. I was like, I don't even
Yeah.
want to eat.
And then you sit down and you're eating like you're crazy. But we
Yeah.
experienced all of that. And it was, even though at the moment we didn't appreciate what was happening or what we were learning,
Mhm.
it was a healthier time, even though we were hurting. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a very, very good, healthy. No, it's 50-50. But it was
Mhm.
actually nice because even though we would be fighting half the time with our siblings, like, oh, you shut up, no, you shut up, whatever.
Yeah.
But still, we had that unity, and it's what we
Mhm.
need to go back to.
Yeah,
Because
it was
I'm
one of
sorry,
those things. Sorry, Nexie. It
go
was one
ahead.
of those things that it wasn't the best environment, like it was a toxic environment,
Mm-hmm.
basically, or dysfunctional. But at least you were saying things to each other. Now
Aha.
everybody's just at the table, and everybody's like, you just hear like the forks moving, and everybody's scrolling.
And the little beep when the message comes in, beep, 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 beep,
Yep.
whatever,
Yep.
and or the different sounds they have. Yeah, they don't. I got invited to dinner somewhere a couple of months ago, and you know we're at the dinner table, and then the youngsters come down. They get called to dinner, and each one of them picks up a plate and goes back to their room upstairs.
Mm.
And I was like, I was moving, right? Where do you sit? Oh, no, no, we don't use the table. And then this person said to me, oh, no, they don't. They go back to their room. And I'm
Mm.
like, okay, I guess that's okay. And that was it. So we sat down, we had dinner, and half of the time, the one of them was checking on the sports, what was going on, and
Mm.
God, I'm missing the game. And it was so hurried that I don't think I enjoyed the dinner. I don't even remember what we ate. And a couple of friends of mine and I, when we were like, okay, we gotta go then, because we felt so unwelcome, even though they had invited us. But I guess because they don't know how to host, they don't
Yeah.
know how to. So it was like kind of like, I guess they cook, everybody picks up a plate, and they all go do their thing.
Yeah.
And
It's one of those things like you have a roommate, not a family.
exactly. And the like I said, it was the person was checking um the I guess the scores, and who won. And I was like, shall we go? And I kept on looking at my friend, shall we go or shall we stay? Like, I don't know what to do. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
it's
So
very awkward.
very awkward. Yeah, so we left. We were like, why are we gonna stay here? I don't think we're welcome anyway. Like, I don't know. They probably don't know how to host. That's what I thought at the end. I was like, maybe they don't know how to host because they don't, you know, they weren't taught or something. But so we
Yeah.
left. We
Uh,
left because it was kind of uncomfortable.
Nexie, a lot of people don't know how to have communication. They don't know how to have conversations and talk about the things that's going on in their life. And it let me just say it this way. It's annoying to me that now the younger generation that they'll more tap into telling their friends things, but they won't say
Mm.
anything, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so stressed out, and I'm going to," and they'll be saying all of this stuff to a friend, and you'll be right there, like, "What? I didn't. What? What's going on with you?"
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
Life has changed.
Yes. Yeah, you're like, okay, wait, why didn't you tell me? And because I feel like, and I know because we're parents, Marlene. You're
Mhm.
like, why didn't you tell me? Like, you feel like, why wasn't I informed? Like, aren't I like your parent?
Yeah, I was like,
Shouldn't I know that?
do we like live together or is this like a hangout thing?
Yeah,
It's like, no.
it's just weird, the things that
Yeah.
I like. And again, all that, and we're bringing this up because all of that adds up to what we're talking about, right? About sometimes those habits you pick up, eating away your feelings. It has to do a lot of times because
Mhm.
you don't communicate. You don't have anyone there to communicate with,
Yep.
pretty
And
much.
and I can say that, Nexie, you can be in a house full of people and feel lonely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I again, we get I get invited to different places, especially after everything was lifted. It took me a little bit to go
Mhm.
visit family and friends, right? Because I still wanted to keep my distance because my little one here, I always want to protect them. But as time went on, I started making, like I said, I have to stop making excuses for why not to go to this person's house. I have to start visiting because they invite me so many times and I don't go, so I have to stop that.
Yeah.
And so, oh, hi, Rooks.
Hey,
So
Shanti.
I had to start getting back into that, routine of accepting invitations, from family and friends. And so I started noticing that from before the pandemic, like when I used to go to certain houses, they'll be so happy, to see me. And then we will all be like grabbing things and putting them on the table, setting up the table. They will be telling me all about their day, what they did, all the drama from school. Like, I mean, seriously,
Mhm.
Marlene, at 10, 11, 12-year old, there's so much drama.
There
There's
is.
so much drama. So I had all these conversations with the 10-year-old that was going through a lot of drama because, her friend, like, she had like a red shirt, and then the next day, guess what? She wears a red one too. So, copycat. That's what we're. It's a lot of drama, Marlene. I cannot tell you
Oh,
because you don't have all.
I listen, Nexi. I know
You have
all.
a 10-year-old son.
Listen, I know all about the drama. They're trying. They want to be like me, and like they know how fresh I am. I hear it all. They know how fresh
Yeah.
I am. They're like, I'm
And guess
so
what he
cold.
did? He cut his
Yeah,
hair too the next day, right? am I
they want to
am
be
I
fresh
getting
like
close?
me, and they're not.
So going from that 3 years ago, 3.5 years
Mhm.
ago, from having that, monthly visit, right, to this person and enjoying all of this, and going back to a week ago, I went to dinner, for the first time in a long time, and it wasn't that same vibe. Of
Mm,
course, this little person is 13 now, right?
okay.
And then the other one is 11, but they weren't as open as they were before the pandemic. They were like, okay, so we're gonna eat, yeah, set up the table. And then we started setting up the table, and then they were with their tablets and their phone. And then as soon as we sit down on the table, I said hi, and of course they hugged me and kissed me and everything. Hi auntie, because they call me auntie, and I'm like hi. And that
Mhm.
was it. They were on their phone, on the tablet, and then as soon as they finished, they got up and they left to the room. They didn't even pick up their plate to take it to the sink,
Mhm.
nothing. And I was like thinking to myself, like, how much the pandemic affected all of us, not just
It
grown-ups. It
has.
affected
It
the little
has.
ones so much more, probably because they don't understand it, right? We just
Mhm.
took their friends away. They don't know what a pandemic really is because they're too little. So it
Mhm.
affected them a lot too, and which is why it's good to bring up these topics, Marlene. So we
Yeah.
can have, we can help people out there somehow,
Yeah,
some
I
way.
always I always say that, Nexi, we think a lot of times, oh, we're good, and we tell ourselves that because we're adults. But these poor children, the children,
Hmm.
that you have in your house, they go through things, but they may not understand how to voice. They don't know how to
Hmm.
voice what they're feeling. They just this is the way it is. And especially if nobody's having conversations like, okay, we're not going out, we're not doing this. It's just everything shut down. It's like people shut down, people stop talking, communicating, getting together. And the same thing even within a house. It's like everybody is isolation in isolation. Like, like
It's
I'm
isolation
staying away from
central.
them, but I'm also staying away from you too. Everybody went into their own bubbles.
Yeah, as sad as it sounds, that's exactly what happened. Everybody went into their own little, I guess, trauma. We can call it that
Mhm.
because that's exactly what it was. We went through our own trauma without really working on, or if we saw something, I guess we were so worried, so traumatized, we didn't say anything, not to aggravate or add more to the stress that it was already happening in the
Mhm.
household. But yeah, I noticed my little kiddos, and they weren't my little kiddos anymore. It was so
Yeah.
different. And it saddened me because, it brought me back to, what I've always known, but I've never
Mhm.
really witnessed is the effect that it had on them. Because I
Yeah.
don't have little ones. I have
Yeah.
a worries, I have a little penguin sometimes, but I don't have little ones. So when I
Yeah.
saw them, it was, and then you start thinking, if we don't talk about this, then they're gonna be eating in their room. They're probably gonna be eating any. If you don't finish it, they're
Mhm.
gonna eat it later on at night, and then they're gonna go to bed with all that food inside, right? So all those
Yeah.
things we don't think until we're faced, I guess, with the problem right in front of us.
Yeah.
Our weight
But-
going up, them
Right.
getting depressed.
Yeah, and you have to have conversations with, especially the children, because they're not going to come out and say what they're dealing with and going through. They're just going to just stuff it down inside. You have to like take that role and be like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, hang out. They're going to be
Hmm.
like, "Whoa, why are you talking to me?" I was like, "Am I in trouble?" Like, "No, you're not in trouble. I just wanted to know what's going on with you." I think everybody has to make those steps back to that again, because when we started doing the isolating from other people, we also did isolation within our own family too. Like everybody just separated and scattered, in
Hmm.
their own direction, in
Yeah.
their own world, and everybody has on their headphones, and they got their tea. Everybody got a tea. Before, when I was growing up, there was only a TV in the living room.
Yep.
Now everybody got a TV in their bedroom, so of course you don't have to come out. What's the, you know? So
What's the point?
and even everybody got a mini fridge in their room. It's like,
That was kind of weird to me, but I did see this somewhere, and I was like, you have a
Mhm.
fridge in your room,
I,
like it's really
I remember.
inside, so you can keep all those sugary drinks
Mhm.
that you're gonna drink in the middle of the night,
Yeah,
or
in the middle of the night. Yep.
while
Uh-huh.
you're playing your game.
Yeah. Because you know how hard it is to get up out of your bed and go to your mini fridge and take out a drink? That's hard, Nexie.
It's
How dare
it
you?
is it is especially for me. It's probably I think it's about 20 steps, and then
It's
20 steps
10.
back. No,
Okay.
no, that's too much. I counted them. It's about 20 steps and then 20 back. That's 40 steps. I cannot afford to lose all that energy without my
That's
drink.
too much.
Or
Um,
Marlene, check this one out. Or you go to their room, and then you're talking to them, and then they open a drawer and it's full of snacks. Instead
mhm.
of having their knickknackers, they have all full of snacks. Cookies. You want something? I have
Yeah.
cookies, chips, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Well,
And
it's easier
let
than
me say,
going down.
Nixie, let me speak up for all the parents around the world. Okay. This is the reasoning of the mini fridge. Okay. You ready for it? Your
Yes.
kids, listen, the kids, when you put things in the fridge, this is what they do. And gone. So you have to
Brooks,
pull some
you're
in your own
probably right.
room so that you can enjoy. It's the reasoning. It's how it goes.
Yeah. So and I again, it's okay if you want to have certain things in your room, right, to save it from all the other crocodiles that are gonna be around you, that are gonna eat your
Mhm.
stuff. But at the same time, I don't think it's a good thing, because that's how we build up sometimes those bad habits.
Yeah, and the extra, what did they call, what did my mom used to say? You get extra biscuits, you know?
Hey, extra biscuits. All I gotta say there is, I gotta stop you somewhere. Do not go there, Marlene. I need an extra biscuit. I don't understand why that's a problem for you. I don't get it. Wait, what did somebody said? One is to taste and one is to eat.
Yes.
You
No,
have that little
no,
somebody
one
that
is
said.
sip and one is to
Oh,
eat.
okay. I was wrong
You
on
have
the
to you
delivery.
have to go, Yeah, you have to go like that. You have to feel, and the other one is you feel it in the back of your throat, and the other one is to go.
She's so funny. Oh, that little one is so funny. So yeah, you see the logic. I dig that. I like her because she knows exactly why I need that extra biscuit for.
Mhm.
No, but
Exactly.
I think, Marlene, that I don't think I feel that a lot of parents are afraid to to bring back this, this type of um I don't want to say gatherings, but this type of
Nexie, I think I know exactly what you're saying. A lot of parents are afraid to tell their children no.
I didn't want to go there,
Nexie,
but traditions. I
uh,
meant more like
why are
bringing
you
those
making me
traditions.
look at my mini fridge and feel embarrassed?
No, like these traditions, they're afraid to. I feel that they're like either afraid or they don't want to be like helicopter parents, as they call us
I
now, or but you're probably right. But traditions are there for a reason. But I feel that a
Yeah.
lot of parents don't have the guts, I guess, to tell the kids, we're gonna eat dinner here now, all of us.
Mhm.
No questions asked.
Yep.
Just get here now.
You know,
Do
it's one
not.
of those things, Nexie, like what used to be back in the day. It wasn't an option. We never got to eat in our bedroom. I mean, it had to be something really
You have
bad,
to be
like
sick.
you had to be sick, like a fever or something, and all you were getting during that time was probably some juice or some
Hmm.
soup, and my mom was gonna feed it to me, so I didn't spill it. I wasn't.
Yep,
I didn't even get the
exactly.
luxury of eating it on my own. Yeah.
And if you weren't that sick, if you spilled something, you were gonna be spanked, and you were really going to be really, really sick.
Yeah,
No,
you
but
were gonna be and then you think it was bad, you was gonna get spanked, and you was gonna have to take all the sheets off and wash that laundry and then take it out and put it back on your bed because my mom was done with me.
yeah, but I do feel that I don't know if it's because they don't want to seem cool in front of their
Yeah,
kids, or they don't want to be seen as old school, because that's what kids say. Oh my God, you're
yeah,
so old school. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just get
yeah,
your butt over here. Let's eat,
yeah,
around the table. Let's just have. I feel that they're afraid of telling their kids what to do, or to change the kids' routine. It's your
yeah,
job to do that. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I Let me say this, Nexie, and it's very scary. You're afraid of confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's the thing like, oh, because you know what you're gonna face. Oh, and the eye roll, and the neck rolls, and the hand on the hip, and the the sigh, like, oh my God, why are you bothering me? Like, what does this woman want now?
Yeah, I feel that that's what it is. But a lot of things that used to be tradition, I'm seeing them less and less on family members. My nieces and nephews, sometimes, that grew up in that tradition. I see them. Sometimes I've gone to visit, and they're all sitting on the couch eating, watching a show,
Mm,
making a mess out of everything, leaving the plates there, not picking them up, and going back to the room when they're done to watch TV or whatever it is that they do there. And my niece is over there picking up everything, and I'm like, what's going on? I remember, for my
mm,
kids were brought up the same way I was, which is, when your mother or your father gives you the food, you say thank you, that
mhm,
for the food. You give the blessing on the table, and then when you're done, you pick up your plate, and throw away the trash if you left any leftovers, and then put it on the sink.
Mhm.
I used to do that. My kids were brought up the same way. You don't want to put them all the way in the sink because whatever. Just leave them on the counter in the kitchen, but take it away from the table. These kids are not doing any of that.
Listen, Nexie. This is how bad it's got. Even the parents now have to take all the built up plates from how many days of dinner?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. And pick them up from their room because their 15, 16, 14, 17-year-old cannot bring them down for their room from their room.
Hmm.
Yeah, my nieces are doing that. And I'm like, sweetie, what are you doing? You
Yeah, I'm
We
like,
always
what
ate
is
at the
going
table,
on?
remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do that. I do tell my nieces, I do ask them, like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you having the kids sit on the table? Oh, auntie, you know how it is. No, I said, no, I don't know how it is. Tell me how it is. You're the
Mhm.
mother, you're the one who's
Right.
supposed to make the time, and the rules and regulations in this household. Ah,
Yeah.
it's easier to not deal with them. I'm like, okay. So,
Wow.
yep, they don't gather on the table. They don't talk about anything. They all sit down and it's just to sit there, pretty
Mhm.
much.
Yeah.
Just to sit
Oh,
there.
one of my best girlfriends told me what she did recently. She said she removed all the TVs out of her kids' room.
I did that.
Yeah. And she said they were mad for like a month, but she said when that happened, she said you wouldn't believe what it did for the family.
Hmm.
Like they actually will come out of a room and say, oh, and she starts to calling it sightings. Is that a sighting? Do I see is that my son? Is that my daughter? Whoa, hello there.
Yeah, no, I never. My kids had their TV, but 9 o'clock it was off because they had school the next day. On the weekends, on
Mhm.
Fridays, they could stay up until super late. Hey, Shay, they could stay up later than usual. Go ahead, Marlene.
No, no, I was just saying that I do think that it's something to think about. Of course, I never tell anybody how to parent because every parent,
Of
you
course
know,
not.
yeah, but even has made me rethink. I was like, yeah, a TV in the bedroom. Like we tend to think, well, I can say I tend to think I did it because it's something that I always wanted when I was younger, and I think every parent wants to give their children what they didn't have. And I was like, man, when I was younger, I would have
You
loved
won the prize, bingo.
yeah, I was like, when I was younger, I would have loved to have a TV in my room. So, of course, when you have your children, they get a TV, but then they don't appreciate it because they didn't come from where you came from.
Hmm.
I made you myself. I know, you guys. I'm sorry, but I'm going to take you guys back in time to where there was one TV, and guess what? It was in black and white.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had that one too. I think
Oh, I know a lot of people like
Marlene,
black and
and the
white.
little
TV
screen
was
that
black and white, huh? Yeah.
the big
Big back TVs. Mhm.
yeah, no, but the big, like, it was just like it looked like a bureau, like a furniture, and then the small little tiny thing, the
Yes,
small screen that you could
and
hardly
and
see.
and looked at James with no remote. Remember when you had to have
Yes.
the rabbit ears, and you put the foil paper, and you had to be like, "Oh, and stand no, move it to the side. No, hold up, right there. Don't move, don't move, don't move."
Go change the channel. We only had 12, remember?
Yeah, we only had 12 channels, yeah, back in the
And
day.
in my time, which is much older than you, Marlene, um, I think it was at 10, the TV will go off. Like everything was, all the channels would go black. We only had
What
those
are you
lines. Remember those
saying?
color lines? Remember those color lines that will come up, and then the little like the white noise, and until the next
Nope.
morning at 6 a.m.
Nope, I know nothing of what you're saying.
Yeah, I figure because you're younger, so you can't know
No.
anything of what I'm talking about.
I think no, honestly, Lexi, I think you gave too many channels because we only had PBS, three news channels, and what's the one? Telemundo. So we had
That's
five.
true.
I had
Wait,
five. So if you had
I had
12 next to
PBS,
you
Channel
was
13. No, we had a local, remember?
you
We had
were you were
we
doing
had
very well,
13.
Miss Nexie, if you had 12. Because I just thought I counted on my fingers
No, no,
until
no, no. What I
no, we
meant is
didn't have
no, no.
12.
The knob on the TV only had 12. Remember? It went
Yeah,
up to
it had
12,
12,
but
but we
that
only
doesn't
had
mean that we
5.
had 12 channels. Yeah, we only had like five or six, I think, because there was like when you were able to work the antenna, you could get something else that I think it was TV. I think it
Yeah,
was
it
because
was some risque stuff. Yeah.
I remember something. No, never mind. But no, the knob had all the way up to 12. But you were lucky and very lucky if you could get 4 or
Mhm.
5 channels to work. Like you could see them. He wouldn't go with that the little lines.
Yeah, you remember the lines used to be going through the TV?
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
had to like move the antenna. No, 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 move it on that side. No, put it towards the end.
Yep.
And your
Yes,
remote control will
Shanti.
be your sibling. Go change
Yes,
it. No,
Shanti.
you change it.
Yes, Shanti. We have black and white TV. She says I'm stuck at black and white. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, I had
Yep,
black
I
and
had
white
black and white
TV too.
TV until
Yeah.
I had black and white TV. We got color TV when I started kindergarten. Yeah.
I think I went even further than you, Marlene. I don't
Mhm.
think we got a color TV in my household until way later. And I think my dad was actually making payments towards a color TV for the longest time until he finished the payments. Then they brought in that little TV and it was color TV. And we were so excited. And
Wow.
and we were like the second or third family in the neighborhood that had a color TV.
Yeah.
So, kids will come and pay like a penny to watch TV.
Well, because both of my parents have worked in the medical field, we got our TV because the people that my parents took care of got a nicer color
Oh,
TV. So I remember when my
nice.
dad brought it in, you would have thought like we had got hit the lotto.
Yeah,
It was like a TV, a TV, a
yeah.
TV.
And it was colored. It was color
It
TV.
was a
And
color TV and it was huge. I remember it was like my brother and two friends. They're like,
oh man. Do you remember the foil popcorn?
yeah.
The one that you put on the stove? That was the best popcorn
Jiffy Pop, and
ever.
you had to
Yeah.
shake it like this on the
But
stove
wasn't
top.
the best popcorn
The
ever?
best. I'm telling you,
And I don't like popcorn,
I don't
but
like
I was
popcorn
able to eat that.
anymore. That popcorn on the stove that used to have the foil over the top, that
Yeah.
was the only popcorn. Since then, I don't. I think popcorn now is disgusting.
Well, I don't like it anyway, but that was the only one that I could grab like a handful and eat it. But other than that, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Times have changed. I
So
really
much.
feel sad for people who are, I know I'm aging myself, but I feel sorry for people who are under 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they missed out on a lot. And
Yeah.
Marlene, now think about it, because we had to do everything by hand, like our popcorn, our this, we used to eat a lot of fruit. We
Hmm.
were always grabbing apples, grabbing this, grabbing that, because you come from a large family as well as me. So it was cheaper to get fruit and those popcorns for special occasions than have a whole bunch of cookies and chips and all
Um,
of that stuff.
Nexie, I don't know what you're talking about, but we lived here in Florida, so we used to just walk through the neighborhood and that was our work
I
fruit. Yeah.
Listen, I have never ever ever done that in my life, and my nose is like a Pinocchio right now. Whoop, it just grew like like 3 meters.
And my mom, and that's the reason why I used to get spanked growing up, because back in the day, if you didn't eat, you got it. After my mom made all this food and I'm sweating over this stove and your kid's not eating, we have been eating what mangoes and oranges, tangerines.
Yeah, we had on my neighborhood, on my house we had mangoes, and we had
Mhm.
guavas. We
Ooh.
had what else did we have? I think those were the only two fruit trees that we had. And then that was in my house. In the back we had the mangoes, and then in the front we had the guavas. And then
Mm.
my neighbor had an orange tree, a lime tree, and a
Mm.
lemon tree. And then the other neighbor had like two different kinds of mangoes and stuff, because
Mhm.
we don't grow apples or anything like that over there because it's too hot. But
Mhm.
we get a lot of oranges and mangoes and
Yep.
guavas and stuff like that. So, oh, we were full. We
Yep.
were hungry. We'll climb a tree, get a whole bunch of
Yep.
mangoes, and
Yep.
everybody will come.
Yep. And my brother used to say, "You better stop. Mama's gonna really get with you." And I didn't care. I was like, "Oh, these mangoes are so good," and I did. And I knew it by the time I'm talking about dinner, and I'd be like, "Oh,
My stomach hurts.
my stomach
But
hurts."
then
Hurt.
again,
Your stomach hurts from what?
we were so active back there. Back then,
Yeah.
we were always eating on the go. And we always had to, if we wanted it something, we had to get up and do it. It's not like now that we have everything so available, which is why, we're coming back to this, eating away, our
Yeah.
feelings. Because, you're sad, you're whatever, you just grab some chips and you start eating them. Oh, you can't sleep. You grab, a glass of milk with like 10 cookies.
I know.
So everything is there. Before, if we wanted the cookies, we had to make them from scratch. I
Yes,
didn't have the money to
it's
go buy it.
true. It's
I didn't have
true.
the money to go buy them.
And back in the day, we didn't buy. You didn't go to the store and buy a cake like now, like how they
No, you
have it
make
deli
it.
at the store. No,
Yeah.
my mom used to. I remember taking the thing and then taking the flour and sifting the flour and the
Mm-hmm.
eggs and all of that stuff, adding vanilla. It was a tedious process to
Yep.
have cake. Hmm.
Yep.
But
Yep.
life has changed, things have changed, people have changed, and you know, with the times changing, we have to change too. That yes, now we have more luxuries, we can just easily grab things, but we have to start making some decisions like, do I need to go through drive through every day? Do I need to go to Starbucks every day, or 7-Eleven, or
Mm-hmm.
any other convenient every day? Or can I start
Mm-hmm.
doing some healthier things like something recently? One of my friends, I know you don't like it, Nexty, but some people get the bento boxes and they do
Mm-hmm.
some meal prepping of their food. And it's good not only for their budget, but also their waistline too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, for me is I have to stop eating so late. Again,
Yeah.
I have to count, before, by 6 o'clock, your dinner was done. You were eating dinner at that time. six
Mhm.
thirty, you were done, and then you had, even time to go for a walk around the block with the,
Mhm.
the kids and the pets. And if not, you will do the dishes, move around. By the time you went to bed, all the food was already digested. But right now, with all the stresses we have, and all the everything so conveniently there for you. Drive-throughs been open till super late.
Mhm.
You just hop in your car and you go.
Yeah.
Not having anyone to chit chat with sometimes pushes you into that routine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna stop for some fries. I'm just gonna
You,
get this.
You know what, Nexie? I can remember growing up, and on Sunday, certain things weren't open.
Mm-hmm.
All those restaurants were closed because on
Yes.
Sunday, everybody cooked Sunday dinner. It's
Mm-hmm.
what
Went to
everybody
church.
did. Yeah, you went to church, you cooked your Sunday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody did. So it was no reason. Even I'm even aging myself even more. But back in the day, if you didn't buy your alcohol on Saturday, there was no alcohol on Sunday because they had a law. There
Mm-hmm.
was no alcohol to be sold on Sunday because we always said here in the South, it's the day of the Lord. They're not going to give you none of that devil drink on Sunday. You should be at service.
No, but it's true. We didn't have that Sundays. I remember too back home. All the even the small businesses that small restaurants that could
Mhm,
probably would have probably benefited from opening them and having, but I don't
mhm,
think they had the customers to open for, because everybody
mhm.
was, you get up in the morning, you have like breakfast, you get ready for church, you spend pretty much half of the day over there, and you have already prepped from the day before
Right.
what you're going to cook for the dinner for Sunday. And then
Yep.
the whole family comes over, and an extended family comes over and gets
Yep.
together in your house. So,
Yep.
all those, yeah, we're aging ourselves a lot. But
Yeah.
I
It's all good.
remember that, we will be prepping sometimes
Mhm.
since Friday. We'll be
Yep.
prepping because, Saturday we had other things to do so that we can have everything ready for Sunday.
Listen, Nexie, this is something probably impossible, and some kids would hate me for saying it, but I remember on Friday when I got home from school, our only job as kids was to make sure we take the meat out of the freezer. And if you didn't take that meat out of the freezer,
That, ooh.
because when my mom got home Friday night, my mom already was starting to prepare everything because Saturday,
Marinate everything, right? Marinate the meat,
everything was
marinate.
marinated and prepped on Friday night, and Saturday was my most hated day of the week because all we did all day
Clean up.
Saturday was clean. Oh, I hated Saturday.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Scrubbing the
on that.
floors, the windows, laundry. Oh, and this is
Exactly.
something that kids don't even know now. On Saturday is when you ironed all your clothes for the week.
Yeah, they don't know.
Kids, they don't even own an iron.
Yeah, no, they don't. And again, it's these changes are the ones that have made us into sometimes going into those bad habits, right?
Yeah,
Because again, we're going with the flow instead of saying, you know what, no, 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 no,
yeah.
I
Keep
wasn't
things
brought up
the
this
same.
way. What am I doing? Because
Yeah,
it's hard to go into that confrontation mode with yourself.
it
Like, what are
is.
you doing?
Yeah. Oh, and they still laugh at me and my family because they're like, she has an ironing board. They laugh at me all the time in my family. Tell me, oh,
Oh, I have one too.
ha ha. Let's say, look at grandma. Look at
Yeah.
grandma. Grandma got her ironing board. Oh, and I'm even aging myself even more. I got my ironing board, my iron, and my spray starch. Thank you.
Yes, I do
Makes
too.
me
And
feel
guess
so
what?
good.
My iron is about 20 years old. I broke
Yeah.
my iron, so I had to buy one, and that was about 20 years ago. So yeah, I
Don't
am a grandma.
Nexie, don't tell me you're as old as like my mom was, where you had to put coal.
Actually, no, I'm not, but I got to use them back home. I went somewhere and I got to use one of those, and I was like,
You
yes,
got to use one?
yes,
Oh,
I did. I went to a very remote area with my dad. He was fixing something for someone.
nice.
And then we went into this lady's house, and she had one of those old, they were so good though. She would just place the
Yes,
coal
those
inside.
those
They
old
were
iron things that were
heavy.
heavy, they iron so good. You only have to
I
use
asked her, "Can
one.
I do it? Can I use it? Can I was little. I was very, very little. But I wanted to know what it was, how it felt. And when I grabbed it, she would say, "Be careful because it's heavy." And I was like, "Oh my God." It was so heavy, but they were so good.
Yeah.
Clothing will be ironed so perfectly
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. And Shanti put it here. She says she has an iron, but she hardly uses it. I I
Yeah.
I still I'm old school. I'm old school. Still iron on Saturday. I can't. Yeah. Still I'm still ironing on Saturdays over here. Yeah.
I used to, my sisters and I used to take turns with the, sometimes doing that ironing. Not on Saturday for us, but we used
Um,
to take turns. Like, okay, today I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do all of my stuff. So don't even bother asking for the iron right now, okay? Because
yeah,
I'm
because
gonna
you
use
only
it.
had one.
Yeah, of course. And they'll be like, but I just wanted to. Nope, you should have thought about that yesterday. I told you all that I was gonna use this today.
Yeah. Yep.
But then you feel bad. Just give me the shirt. I'll iron it for
Yeah,
you.
I'll iron it for you. And it makes me sad because I'll see like at schools, in the workplace, all over, I see people and they go out and they're
Wrinkle.
crusty. They're wrinkled. And I'm like, when is that okay? I was like,
Yeah.
what is happening to people? It's like now people don't have standards. I hate to say it like that, but yeah, it makes me
You
feel
know,
very sad.
I see a lot of kids sometimes at Walmart or Target or any other store, Rouse or whatever. We go do our shopping sometimes, and I see them and they're wrinkled, completely wrinkled, and
Mhm.
I'm like, you couldn't not put it back in the dryer at least for a little bit, just so that. I mean, you're at work, right?
Nexie, don't ever say anything just in case my mother is listening, even though she is no longer here. But the Downy spray,
Mm-hmm.
all you have to do is spray it and hang it up, and all the wrinkles will go away.
See, there is ways to do
There
this.
are ways,
So
but
why?
not that I know. I don't know about it because I was raised right.
It's funny as that sounds, but it's true. These are things that stay with you for a lifetime. They don't go away. These are ways of your upbringing that gives you, an extra, um, how can I put it, like an extra way of making yourself useful, or an extra
Mhm.
way of saying, hey, if everything else fails, I can always work in this, I can always do
Yeah.
this. Or it makes you follow certain traditions because they were instilled in you when you were little. And that's what we've
Mhm.
been saying, is that a lot of these things, as old fashioned and as grandma-ish as they sound,
Mhm.
these are things that have made us who we are today, the
Yeah.
responsible people that we are, because you knew that in your household you had to be cleaning all day Saturday, you had to iron all
Mhm.
day Saturday,
Okay.
whoever was doing it, taking turns with the
Mhm.
iron. You knew that on Sundays you had to go to church, and then everybody gets together. So
Yes.
these are that were passed on, from your mom's probably side of the family and your dad's to you guys, and then from you now to the next generation. But that's where it stopped. It stopped with us,
Yeah, and I'm
you
telling you
know?
now it's like getting up on a Saturday, like they're like, "No, leave me alone. I want to sleep in." It's like, oh, I couldn't wait next see for it to be 7 o'clock so I could start cartoons before my mom would wake up and start with I'd be like, I gotta get at least 10 minutes of Bugs Bunny.
Marlene, remember, I don't know, no, you're probably younger. I don't know if James probably remembers this with me, but I remember we only had cartoons at 11 a.m. The first set, we had another one at 3 p.m. Okay.
Mm,
And then
yep.
in between, there were all these other shows, but we didn't have cartoons all day long. I
Oh,
remember, I mean, I had to be home at 3 o'clock because Box Bunny and whatever they were going to show was going to be there at 3 o'clock. If you didn't watch that one, that's it.
yep,
You missed it. You lose out on it. But
yep.
we didn't have cartoons all day long, from sun up to
Mhm.
sundown. We didn't do that. We only had them at 11 because I think it was for the little ones so mommies can get lunch ready. And then at 3 o'clock.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, that's how it was for me.
we had cartoons started at 7, and I think it would go from like 7 to 10, and then it would cut off probably when people were having breakfast and stuff, and then it would come back around probably 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's
here
how
is,
I
I think,
remember
when
it.
Sesame Street, remember, at 11 o'clock, I think it started. The
Mhm.
first Sesame Street, then you had another one. So you had a choice of either watching that one in the morning or the afternoon.
Yep, you have a choice, morning or afternoon. Um, I feel like this conversation is just to show how things have changed and how far, like every generation, because I remember when I was growing up, my mom used to say, "Oh, you kids have it so good, you're so spoiled," and then I'm saying the same thing, "You kids have it so good, you're so spoiled." And every generation, I do think that there is always going to be technology and improvements, but it's about using that. Like, how are you using that technology? Are you using that technology to be lazy? Has it separated you from your family? How is it affecting the way that you're eating? Are you still communicating with your relative, or is everybody in their own little isolated area?
hmm
Hmm.
That's where the difference comes in,
Yeah.
and we need to make a habit of, if we are feeling a certain kind of way, we should try to reach out more rather than, like you said, eating our feelings away, and then maybe, gaining weight and putting our health at risk. We
Hmm.
have to find ways to, um, bring back that communication, bring back that, um, the ability to voice out our concerns, what's bothering us on that day, so that, we're not developing unhealthy habits.
It's
So
true.
I feel that we should try to reach out more,
Yeah.
whoever it is that we need to reach out, but someone that can listen to us, or someone that,
Hmm.
that it's there, even if it's just to hear us rant, says nothing, but we need to reach out more. I think that's what it is. And otherwise, we're going to put our health at risk,
Yeah.
from overeating, overindulging, not knowing when to stop, when to actually stick to no, I'm not going to do that today. No, I'm not going to stop by the drive through. No, I'm going to try to text someone, or, talk to
Hmm.
someone.
Yeah, and actually say things like, instead of having the ice cream or pizza or candy bar, I'm going to go to the gym
Hmm.
and take out my aggression instead of eating the aggression.
Yeah, or go for a walk.
Hmm.
Go for a walk, get your mind off of it, and don't have those things in that house that that you're
Ooh.
gonna run to. Like, I don't have ice cream here.
Oh,
I don't
it's
keep
so
cookies here.
good,
I know I don't
but
keep
it's so
any sort of
good.
chip. I don't keep chips in the house either, because I was noticing that when I had them available and ready, I would just go out there, at 11 o'clock at night if I was home, and then grab a whole bunch of cookies, or just a couple. I'm just going to have two cookies, and then a little bag of chips, and, sit here and eat them, and then go to bed, with a big glass of milk or whatever. So those things, I'm not keeping that anymore at home. I
Yeah.
don't.
I stopped. One of the things that I do with my family is, if we want something that's, I consider junk food, if we want ice cream, cookies, whatever, we eat it out, but we don't take it home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If you
that
want a
is the
burger, that's
best.
fine, but we're not gonna have a burger in this house, or we're not gonna have ice cream and pizza and candy, because One thing I cannot handle is chocolate. You know that.
Yep,
That's my what
that's
do you call
me.
that? That's my little kryptonite.
Yes.
Yeah, like chocolate, chocolate, give me. I can't say no to it. So I, yeah, don't keep it in the house because I'm gonna eat all of it, every single piece of it.
Yeah, and that's why we have to make sure that, those temptations are not around us.
No, James, I don't want it. I want a chocolate donut, but I don't want it.
Oh my God, I don't like donuts, so that won't affect me, James.
Yes, I love donuts. Anything
Uh,
if it's chocolate, yes.
nope,
Chocolate, yes. Yep. Mhm.
not me, Marlene. No donuts. I don't care how chocolatey they are. Ugh.
Oh, you broke my heart in a million pieces. Oh,
Sorry, Marlene.
my heart
That's
is
not good for you.
shattered.
Put that donut down, Marlene.
Oh no, it's shattered. It's shattered. How could she? You know what, guys? I thought she was my friend. No, okay,
No,
goodbye, Nixie. I'm removing you from the chat. You don't like donuts. Goodbye. We're done
block.
forever.
I'm glad you're not Geo. She'll block.
Yeah, if it was Geo, she'd be like blocked. But great topic. I really enjoyed it. Every single minute of it. Oh, see, James is so nice. He says you can have an apple Danish.
Ooh, yes, I can.
You can keep the Danish. I'll take the donuts. Thank you, James.
James, you're not helping this pair of tricks here. We don't need that, James. Stop
Yeah,
putting
we don't
ideas in
need
our
it.
head.
Remember, we're not supposed to be eating. See, you made me go right. You took me right into that trap. I was like, oh, donut, yes. See, eating away my pain again. I'm telling you.
Exactly. That's why I was like, not trying to go there. But James, you know how he is. Dove
Yeah,
right in.
yeah. Like, don't like that would be like when people say, "Do you want this?" And you'll be looking at it like like the dog when the dog doesn't even bat their eyes. They're just staring. That's me when someone has chocolate. I'm like, huh? I was like, wherever they move that box, that's where my eyes are going.
You're like a child.
I am. Yep. James said you can tell I went to the store today.
Oh, okay. Now we know why you're
Now it
coming
makes
with all
sense.
this,
Yep.
with all this deliciousness.
Hmm. So great topic,
Oh,
Nikki.
Marlene,
Great
it was
topic.
amazing topic.
Yep.
Yes.
Final words.
I think I just said them. Try to communicate more. And don't keep things that you will eat
Hmm.
because you're desperate, or you're hurting, or you're thinking about loved ones that have already departed. Try to keep healthy stuff around, and talk to someone. Have someone that you can trust, that you can have a conversation with, and that you can really tell them how you feel, because it's the only way that you're gonna feel better. Eating away your
Hmm.
feelings is just gonna make you gain weight, and it's not gonna solve anything. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me, Miss Marlene,
I appreciate
so
you, Miss
much.
Nixie. And my final words are, we tend to think about food and all the things that it does, like it can comfort us, it cures boredom, it cures stress, but really it doesn't do any of those things. We have to find ways to get out there and enjoy life, have conversations, work on ourselves, work on our inside. Why am I feeling this way? Ask ourselves those questions instead of letting food be the replacement for people and conversations. So thank you everybody for joining me today. Thank you to Miss Nexie, my awesome co-host, and to everybody in the chat for all your wonderful comments. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And have the conversations. Do what you need to do. Take care of you, and don't eat away your pain. Do what you need to do, and focus in on your health. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But I almost forgot. Almost, but I didn't. I want to inform you guys about, I think I put it in here. Yes, I did. On this coming Saturday, this Saturday is the Let's Reset Empowerment Conference. It's going to be from 5 to 8 p.m. Starting off from the left to the right, it's Coach Sherry at 5 p.m., Pandy's Hair Candy at 5:30. At 6 o'clock, Coach Mary Ma at 6:30, Boss Life Online. And at 7 p.m., it's Be Amazing Sylvia. And I will be ending the conference at 7:30 with my topic. All of the information is going to be on my community tab. I'm going to be doing a live on Friday, talking about each and every presenter's topics. So tune into tomorrow's after show. But yeah, I want to cordially invite you to the Let's Reset Empowerment Conference this Saturday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you guys there and appreciate everybody's support. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you tomorrow when I do the pre-show for the Empowerment Conference. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. And Marlene, we'll see you on our Sip and Chat.
Yes, at the Sip and Chat. Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger